So friends, I've been investing in the US stocks for the last 1.5 years now. The go-to platform that I have been investing through was Sarwa at that time and even now. I was introduced Sarwa through one of the Facebook group. That was a time when I was searching for the brokerage house which I can use to invest in the US stocks. Sarwa was a great option. The reason was that while living in the UAE, there were other platforms that were offering too, but at the same time they were not based in the UAE. And once you are not based in the UAE, whenever I'm transferring any amount to them, it will incur me a lot of transaction charges. And as a beginner, I was not investing a lot. Let's say if I'm investing $100, $500 or $1,000, it will impact me in terms of transaction fees. The transaction fees can vary from $25 to, let's say, $50 depending on the bank, which was a huge amount, especially for a small investor, because a majority of the gain whatever you will have will be eaten away through that transaction charge. And I'm going to invest every month because I'm a firm believer in the dollar cost averaging. Anyways, when Sarwa was introduced to me, I came to know that there is no transaction charges, and on top of that, the platform is also regulated by the UAE competent authorities of the financial world, and that made me confident that I can invest my hard-earned money into the platform. I'll give you a brief of how the journey went through. So basically, when I started in February 2022, I started through Sarwa Invest. Now, currently, Sarwa has three kind of investment streams that you can invest in. Sarwa Invest, that I invested in the beginning, and that was the oldest platform that Sarwa has to offer. Then there is Sarwa Trade, which deals in the individual stocks that I also invest in. And recently they have started Sarwa Save, which is an opportunity for you to invest your money in, so that if you have any emergency fund, I put my emergency fund in Sarwa Save because it is giving me anywhere between 3 to 2.5% of annual return. And good part is that if I put, let's say, for 15 days or 1 month, it will give me the returns in any case. The only caveat is that it has some charges, or you can say the spread between you once you are sending the money and retrieving the money. So let's talk about Sarwa Invest first, because this is the platform that I've used since the beginning. So let me open the app for Sarwa. You can see, and the app is absolutely great because I have been using this app and they have incrementally improved it in past few, let's say, months. Now you can see my portfolio. It says $14,132. This portfolio combines the Sarwa Save and Sarwa Invest amount. Sarwa Trade, I will mention it separately. Let's talk about only Sarwa Save, Sarwa Invest for now. I will go into the portfolio of Sarwa Save. You can Sarwa Invest, sorry, and you can see the portfolio comprises of $5,165 right now. You can see that for a year almost, you can see this is for a year, and this is for the, let's say, almost starting from February 2022. So almost 1.5 years now, and you can see the portfolio performance. The performance is like 3.1% it has given me overall. I have been dollar cost averaging. So if, let's say, if I have invested this amount since at the start of my investment journey, I might have not been on this number. The number is because of my dollar cost averaging. I put every month, let's say, $500, $400, $600, whatever it may deem appropriate at that time. So I invest Sarwa Save every month. Now you can see here, you can see the simple return that I'm getting is 3.31%, which means that whatever investment I have done, regardless, irrespective of the time, this is giving me 3.1% return. Earning of around $165. Net deposit is around $5,000. It's coming to be $499.75. Now there is a Sarwa management fees as well. I haven't talked about it. Sarwa management fees is basically 0.85% of your complete portfolio. That is charged on annual basis, but pro rata basis it is charged on per month basis. So they will charge you in any case at the around somewhere between 5th of every month. So you can see the Sarwa management fees for this month has been charged already, which was $3.43. It depends on how big is your portfolio. Now there are dividends as well, which is received whenever you invest in Sarwa Invest, because there you invest in some of those stocks which gives you returns as well. Sarwa will invest on your behalf in the ETFs and in some of the funds that will give you dividends as well. So I receive dividends occasionally. Let's say every quarter I get some dividends, every month some dividends, depending on which funds is giving out the dividends. We will talk about the funds, and which we'll talk about the ETFs that Sarwa is investing in. Now the portfolio I have built up is conventional portfolio with risk level as growth and Bitcoin is not included because I don't invest in Bitcoin. Now there are stocks and bonds split between the portfolio, which is 94% of stocks and 6% of bond. If you go towards the let's say safer portfolio, the bonds value will be higher. But here you can see my portfolio splits between 94% of stocks, 6% of bond. If you want to go into details of what the portfolio comprises of, I'll give you the current positions. Current positions comprises of US stocks, which is VTI. VTI means the total index of the US market, which comprises of a huge number of stocks. I'll tell you, in the target portfolio, it gives you, let's say this VTI stock, it gives you 6,000 large, medium, small, and micro cap companies mirroring the US equity market. So it's a huge number of companies which this VTI reflects, and this is a very famous ETF that you can invest separately as well. I invest through Sarwa Invest with that. Security is Vanguard US Total Market Index ETF. Number of stocks is 3,654. So if you believe in the US, you can invest in this VTI ETF separately as well. I invest through Sarwa Invest. Anyways, the other ETF it comprises of, let's talk about the current position, is the developed market stocks. Again, we'll go to the target portfolio and I'll show you this developed market. It tracks basically the US, and anything apart from US and Canada comprises of equities, like equities from, let's say, UK and Switzerland and Europe and, let's say, Australia and stuff like that. The ETF predominantly includes Nestle, Novartis, HSBC Holdings, similarly, and there are some other companies as well. The expense ratio is 0.07%, which is not very high. Then it comes the VMO emerging market stock, which comprises of stocks from China, Brazil, Taiwan, South Africa. So this is also a Vanguard ETF, and it comprises of almost 5,000 stocks. So this is also a very nice thing to hold to get the exposure outside the US market. So I keep, like, Sarwa is investing here, so I'm also having the exposure on these companies as well as the countries. Now there is 5% of the VNQ, which is US real estate ETF. That is also important because, you know, real estate can go up, and if you don't have this kind of ETF and you don't have any real estate investment in the US, you won't have any exposure onto it. So basically, while sitting in the UAE without going to the US, I can have some exposure to the US real estate ETF and US real estate market. It has around 181 stocks there. Then comes the US bond, which is 3%, and the global bond, which is 3%. If I go again to the current positions gives you an idea that the cash is being held right now for $146, US bonds at 2.9%, global bonds at 2.9%, US real estate at 4.8%. This is the current value of my portfolio. Similarly, the emerging market stocks, developed market stocks, and the US stocks. So this is an overview of US on how Sarwa Invest works, and based on that, whenever you are investing any amount into it, the amount goes into the same proportions as I just mentioned, as I just explained to you in this on this app. Now we'll go to Sarwa Save, because Sarwa Save is also part of Sarwa Invest. Sarwa Save will give you 3% returns in terms of dollars. Once you transfer your money there, they'll give you almost 3% returns. There is a halal option as well, Sharia compliant option as well, which gives you 2.5%, almost 2.5% returns. It doesn't mention exact number, but it's somewhere around 2.5%. So you can expect around that value. Only one thing I want to just mention here about Sarwa Save, that whenever you are investing in Sarwa Save, just mindful of the fact that there is a difference between sending rate and the receiving rate of the US dollars, because whenever you are sending, you are basically sending in the dirhams, and whenever you're receiving, you are receiving in let's say the dirhams, but the actual platform currency is US dollars. So there is a difference between the rates of and it's completely mentioned in the website, and you can see in the app as well while you are reading the FAQs of Sarwa. Sarwa Save has the conversion rate from dirham to USD at 3.68, and while you are repatriating the amount, it is around 3.664. So what I have calculated is that, let's say if you are transferring 10,000 US dollars, or let's say 10,000 dirhams from UAE to, let's say, Sarwa's account, you will get into your account 2,700 17.39 US dollars with this rate. And at the same time, on the same day, if you want to repatriate the same amount, you will receive 9,956 dirhams. So it means almost 44 dirhams have been lost while you are doing the transaction on the same day. So that is the reason I would always recommend anybody who's investing in Sarwa Save to have a long-term view, at least for 2-3 months, because only for the 2 months you will get the break even amount. Let's say if you're investing 10,000 dirhams for 2 months, and while you're repatriating after 2 months, you will receive the exact 10,000 dirhams. But if you're let's say repatriating before that, then you might incur some extra charges, and this will not be equal to the same amount that you've invested in. So it is important to have a long term vision. So I have invested at least for 5 or 6 months. Whenever I am repatriating, I know that I'm gonna get some additional benefit out of it. At least it's better than keeping the amount in the bank. The good thing about this is that it is completely liquid. Whenever you want, you can just ask for repatriation, and it will give you within 2 to 3 working days. It will get into your account. So it is very good for something of emergency fund. If you want to keep, this is a good place you can park your emergency fund. Now let's talk about Sarwa Trade, because Sarwa Trade is something which I have started, let's say, a year back. And although I'm not investing very aggressively in Sarwa Trade because I'm using another app as well, but this Sarwa app for trading is also very good and without any fees. The good thing is that it doesn't have any fees to trade into the US stocks. For the US stocks, I'm investing in a few stocks that I can show you here. These are, let's say, I can show you here, it's Apple, Microsoft, Unilever and Walmart, and you can see the returns, almost 21% of the returns right now, until now, because I've been dollar cost averaging with this account as well. I have got $610 of earnings. This includes the dividends as well. And the current portfolio size is, let's say, $1,490 for Apple, $1,000 for Microsoft, $670 for the Unilever, and $400 for the Walmart. If you see the performance of this, let's say, the account, you can see the stairs. This is the dollar cost averaging I've been doing dollar cost averaging for the last, let's say, almost 1 year, because Sarwa Save, because this Sarwa Invest I started, let's say, 1.5 years back, but Sarwa Trade came 1 year, almost 1 year back. So since then I've been investing there. So you can see that this is a staircase graph. You can see always I'm investing there. Since last month, I am not investing in Sarwa Trade because I have another app that I'm working on right now. The reason is that because I'm a content creator, I make different kind of content, different kind of, let's say, I review different apps. So for last 2 months, I've been reviewing that, and because of that, I'm not investing here. But this is a very nice app, and I recommend anybody who is starting up to use Sarva for sure. If you want, by the way, to use my referral code linked in the description below, you can get $50 of worth of investment. That is for Sarwa Invest. So there are terms and conditions which applies, but you can use the referral code mentioned below. Another good thing about Sarwa Trade is that the transactions, if you go, because this is not CFD based app, this is basically hardcore uh, investment opportunity that you're getting into. So basically, whenever you invest in a company like Walmart or Apple or Unilever, you will get the dividends whenever they announce it. And the good part is that, let's say, whatever amount you have, let's say Apple shares are almost $170 right now, and if you only have, let's say, $70 or let's say $50, you can invest $50 in fractional amount into Apple stocks. So you can do this through Sarva as well. So you can see the transactions that have been used. I can see here, I can see I've got the dividends from Walmart. I got the dividend from Unilever, from Walmart, from again from the Walmart, then the Microsoft, Apple again, Microsoft. So I've been getting dividends throughout whenever these companies announce the dividends. So this is a really seamless process. On top of that, if you want to invest in the crypto market, then also it's a good app. So here you can see there are cryptos which you can invest in, like Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Solana, and similarly there are other cryptocurrencies as well. The only thing is that I've heard that the cryptocurrency amount, let's say, the spread between the buying and selling price of crypto is much higher in Sarva compared to some other platforms. So but it's something very good, because if you want to invest in long term, it doesn't, the spread doesn't matter a lot. So if you want, you can invest, but I don't invest myself in crypto at all. Again, you can invest in other stocks as well. You can see their charts as well, and then you can create your watch list as well. I didn't created the watch list. You can create the orders here. I haven't got the pending orders, anything. So all in all, it's a very nice app. The good part is that it doesn't charge you anything. It the whatever transaction charges were there in the other apps, there is nothing there, because all the transactions are made in the UAE. It is regulated by the competent authorities in the UAE. Anyone starting new should go for Sarwa. I hope you like the video. I have been making videos on personal finance and productivity based in the UAE. I have got an Urdu channel as well. If you understand Urdu, you can go watch that channel as well. You can support me through Patreon. The link is in the description below, patreon.com/Wali Khan. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and there are two videos I have attached here in the end screen. You can go watch them. These are also related to personal finance for some expat who is based in the UAE. I hope you like the video. Thanks a lot.